On October 29th, it was a Thursday afternoon, Archer was in our yard riding his John Deere Power Wheels tractor like he does every evening, and it was at that time that he was bitten twice by a timber rattlesnake.
The day that Archer came in, we actually had 2 nurses that were out. So Hattie and myself were last minute plugged into that schedule, and we were there, and it was a normal day.
That afternoon about 6 o'clock, we got a call from EMS stating that they had a snake bite.
While we were still in our driveway, I called 911 and let them know that we were headed towards Optim Medical Center-Screven. Let them know what had happened, that our 2-year-old son had been bit by a timber rattler. At this point, Archer was buckled in the front seat with my husband. His leg was bleeding some, and he was asking for a Band-Aid. They did tell us to safely make our way towards the hospital here, but that they would call us in an ambulance to meet us on the road if needed.
We then received another call from EMS stating, was there any need to bring him in? Did we have any CroFab? And of course we told him yes to bring him on.
We got the call from dispatch giving us a heads up that that we had a 2-year-old coming in with a snake bite, with a rattlesnake bite. They actually told me what road the patient was coming from. That's sort of when it dawned on me that that it could possibly be one of my family members.
Within about 2 or 3 minutes, Archer then began having a seizure, and at that time he was no longer breathing. And I called 911 back again, and they actually had the ambulance then meet us on the side of the road. I was able to pass Archer off to them at that point, and they proceeded to bring him on to the hospital here in Screven County.
When EMS got Archer in the ambulance, they called back and they said all hands on deck.
We grabbed all our stuff, the CroFab, the antivenom, and then some Ativan because he was having seizures, and EMS arrived holding a little limp boy.
They came through the doors with my nephew and he was in a critical state.
When we got here, we were met by a wonderful team of doctors and nurses. I couldn't have asked for better staff to be on hand that night to take care of our son. They were able to stabilize him by the grace of God. There were 2 vials of CroFab, which is the antivenom needed for the type of snake bite that he sustained.
We all jumped in together. Drew, myself, and Tina. EMS stayed around with us, and we got an IV, we got the antivenom going, and once the antivenom was going, maybe after 10 minutes, he started opening his eyes and responding to us, and it was the best thing in the world.
We all were able to jump in gear, and his cry a little while later was the best sound I've ever heard.
My husband and I are very thankful that Optim Medical Center-Screven is here, that the doors are open, and that our small town and our community has a hospital for needs like this. It is so important that our rural counties and our rural communities have a place to go in times of need. Without Optim Medical Center-Screven, my son would not be here, and for that I am very grateful.